problems that we currently have, not political solutions, but real world solutions. And oftentimes the real world solutions are nothing more than business solutions, because business solutions are human solutions. They're
right. We need leadership. It takes leadership to get anything done. You have to be a leader to build. You have to be a leader to show people, what kind of plan you can accomplish. And I don't see anybody else doing that. I mean, I know a lot of people, they talk about Trump as if, he's a TV star and blah, blah, blah. Well, so was Ronald Reagan. And I mean, it took years for Reagan to actually get a good message out there and take hold. And I don't compare Trump to Reagan. I think this is a whole different era we're living in. There's a lot more danger in this world. And if we don't get somebody with some strength in there, we're just going to keep on falling down, and the country's just going to get more dangerous. And I pray every day that we can get some good leadership, man. I'm telling you.
That is the one thing we need, is some real. We need people who will lead from the front, not lead from behind.
That's right, or not lead at all. We have no leadership, period.
Well, that's the whole basis behind leading from behind. We have a wonderful person in the White House now that leads from behind. Hey, you go up there and do whatever you should be doing. And I'll sit back here and play golf.
Exactly. That's right. I'd say his caddy sees more of him than the American people.
Yeah, he's gone on vacation so much. I'd probably say, yeah, you're right. His caddies and Air Force One has probably seen more of Obama than the Oval Office.
Oh, and don't even get me started on the pollution. I mean, climate change. He's causing climate change.
Don't you know that politically correct private jets, no matter what size they are, do not cause pollution and climate change? Obviously not, or else they wouldn't be flying them around all over the world.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And we all want to take care of this country and keep our country clean, but it's not the main objective. I mean, we need to get our military right. I mean, you watch these guys, these generals and stuff, and they look embarrassed. They look embarrassed to even comment on anything because they have no control, no leader to show them, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is our plan. And the Middle East is just, I mean, put a potato in there because it's bacon. I mean, it's bacon.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Well, I do think, and
it trickles down to us, man.
Well, I hopefully we'll start doing some reverse stuff and start trickling. You know what? If they talk about the trickle down doesn't work, I think that maybe we should start trickling up, because what they're doing is they're trickling down misery. So I think we should start trickling up that misery, and we can continue the job, because we've already turned out more than 1,300 Democrats. We've shown them that their services are no longer required. So I think we should continue that trend to trickle up the misery that they have tried to force down our throats, and force them back into the private sector to live as they were trying to force the rest of us to live. I think it's only fair.
Thank you. You hit the target with that. That's exactly right.
Well, I do thank you for your call. Call back anytime, and hey, do me a favor. Spread the word about the program. I'm not ashamed to ask.
Yes, sir. You've got it, man. Love being on here today, and I will definitely get the word out.
Thank you. Have a wonderful
day.
Thank
you, Rod.
Thanks for the call. Folks, this is this is pretty much what's happening all over the country. It isn't just it's not just one section of the country. It really isn't. It's if you pay attention, even if you try to wade through all that muck that is the lamestream media, you're going to see a common thread. And what that caller just said is the common thread all across the country right now. Well, with the exception of certain places in California, maybe, and Washington, D.C. But in the rest of the country, that really counts. Because if you're out in California and you want to count, you're probably you've probably already left or are thinking of or in the process of leaving California. But there is an exodus in California. And I don't think there was, I just saw something this morning about, the lamestream media was just, ecstatic about how they think that the California drought is over because the LA River and the other rivers, all of a sudden, with all the rain that they've had recently, are starting to flow and flow abundantly again. And they think that is, this is what the report I saw this morning, this lamestream reporter thinks that the reason that there is an exodus of California right now, of Californians leaving California, is because of the drought. And this reporter was basically saying that now that the drought looks like it's starting to come to an end, the exodus will stop. Now, I got to tell you, I don't know where they get these inane, ridiculous. It isn't about the drought. Well, it is about a drought, but not the drought that they're talking about. The drought for the reason that is causing people to leave California, that drought is a drought of sensibility and logic. Look, they just enacted a law that just came into play that states, when it comes to guns, that if your neighbor hates you, all they got to do is pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I think my neighbor might be a little bit crazy, and he's got guns." And then the cops will come knock on your door and take your weapons for 3 weeks. You can't do anything about it. And then in order for you to get them back, you're going to have to go to be mentally evaluated. So it could, and frankly, when they take them away, you're not going to get them all back. That's a guarantee. Because they're going to look at your guns. Well, they're going to find something wrong with some of them. And they're going to tell you, well, that's an illegal sticker on that gun. So you can't have that gun back. It's going to be that inane, folks. I'm telling you. It is a precursor to full and all-out confiscation. This ridiculous California law that really is going to put forth this notion that your neighbor or your disgruntled employee or your family member that's mad at you for not giving them the gift that they wanted, what have you, you're going to start seeing this being a major problem, and people with more than one weapon are going to start realizing that they're not getting all their weapons, their firearms returned to them because of some stupid, inane little reason that a police department is going to find wrong with your gun. And if you think I'm being a little facetious and over the top by saying, well, that's an illegal sticker, do not doubt me, because they will look at something that minute and declare your weapon illegal. If not fine you and jail you, they will at least confiscate their weapon permanently and not give it back to you. This is where all this is headed. Don't doubt me. Do not doubt me. I don't... Man, the funny thing is that when people start, I told people this back in 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009 about Barack Obama. And that can't happen. He can't do that. And he won't. Like you folks, I don't know. We can sound the alarm all we want to, but this is the analogy. You have to pay attention to the alarms. Paul Revere went riding through the countryside saying the British are coming, the British are coming. Now, think about this for a second. What if all the patriots back in Massachusetts back then looked out their window that night and said, "Oh, Paul, I know they're coming, but they're not going to be that bad. It's going to be okay. They're not going to be bad at all." And go back to bed. And they went back to bed. Where do you think? We wouldn't have the United States of America. We'd still be a British colony. Well, we'd still be, all split up between Britain and France and Spain at the moment. But we'd be a British colony still. So when you hear an alarm, you really got to take action. And right now, this is not a Paul Revere alarm. This alarm is more like the smoke detector going off in the kitchen of your house. And you're saying, "Oh, well, that thing has gone off before, and so I don't even need, it's probably a false alarm. I'm not even going to go and investigate it." In the meantime, your kitchen is in flames. you got to take action when you hear an alarm. Every single time you have to take action. You have to investigate it. And you cannot sit by and say, well, it means, yeah, that's not really a problem. And then not do anything about it, because that's exactly, look, World War II, Pearl Harbor. We have learned, the history is about Pearl Harbor. We've learned that there were multiple occasions that people were trying to warn those who could make the decision that something evil was coming over the horizon, and all those people were saying, this is new technology. It's just this person or these people coming back. It's probably nobody wanted to check it out. And look what happened. You've got to check it out every single time. And look at it this way. If it turns out to be nothing, or if it turns out to be a false alarm, the best thing that you can say is, well, it was just a false alarm. Good news. Because when you don't check it out, that one time you don't is the one time you're going to regret it. And right now, the American people in general did not pay attention to all the alarms that were going off with Barack Obama before he got elected the first time. And now 300 million Americans are regretting it. So do you really want to ignore alarms again in the future? This from our wonderful new sponsors of this segment from Stop Obamacare Tax Now. If you're sick and tired of the constant financial pressure that our government is repeatedly putting on you and your wallet, on decent people like yourself, if you're sick and tired of having money taken out of your pocket going nowhere and not helping you and your family at all, trust me, I understand you and I feel your pain. We've all heard the horror stories surrounding the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, right now. I mean, the premiums going through the roof, the deductibles going through the roof. People thinking, well, geez, I thought it was going to be less expensive, and finding out it's 2, 3, 4, 5 times more expensive than what they had before Obamacare. And they're not getting the same level of care that they've gotten before. If that's your case, I understand it. So when you look at the facts of the Affordable Care Act, well, obviously the numbers just don't add up. Things aren't cheaper. You're not getting better, faster care. You're not keeping your own doctor like you were promised. All that stuff is adding up, and it's making people miserable. It's making people less healthy, less comfortable about their health care. And you might want to find or figure a way to opt out. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way that you could possibly opt out. And if you want to know how to do that, then you just got to visit www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com. Again, that's www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com to find out if and how you can opt out of this nightmare of Obamacare, because it's not helping you, it's not helping me, it's not helping your neighbor, it's not helping your community, it's not helping anybody, but it is harming and damaging just about everybody. So if you want to help send a message to Washington, D.C., that not only should Congress repeal it, and I guess for the 62nd time, the House has voted to repeal Obamacare. Now it's time that we make the Senate understand that they need to do the same thing and put this repealing bill on the president's desk and forcing him to veto, and explain to the American people why he's still supporting something that does not work, that is harming more Americans than it is helping. Again, that's www.stopobamacaretaxnow.com. And when we get back, I'm going to try to finish up the interview with Katie Couric and the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, as well as get into some other things. So hour number 3 is coming up. Isn't that wonderful to say? Got so much more to say, so much more to cover with you, so much more for you to hear, and you can still call in and get your message heard. We'll be right back.